They added 800,000 new members, bringing the total membership amount to 10.9 million, which is up 34% year over year. That's a huge signal from the market that their ecosystem is resonating with the target audience, which is a younger, tech-savvy customer. They also added 1.2 million new products, bringing the total to 15.9 million products, which is up 35% year over year. That kind of adoption is showing that members aren't just signing up blindly by, for example, downloading it from the App Store and then never using it. They're actually sticking around and using multiple services on the app. SoFi's financial services segment doubled in revenue year over year to roughly $303 million. That growth came from the rapid adoption of SoFi Money, major traction in the loan platform business, and improvements to SoFi Invest, which is another product that SoFi offers currently, including their partnership with Templum, which is giving users access to private markets. Last quarter, they also originated a record $7.2 billion in loans. This was a result of continued strong member demand for personal loans, student loans, and home loans, as well as strong demand from capital market partners. And if we look a little bit deeper on the loan services that SoFi is offering and the growth for each segment, we can see huge growth happening overall. Personal loan record originations of $5.5 billion in the first quarter of 2025 were up roughly 69% year over year. This is inclusive of $1.6 billion, which is originated on behalf of third parties for the loan platform business. First quarter student loan volume of $1.2 billion was up 59% year over year. Home equity loan originations were a record during the first quarter as well. In total, home loan volume was $518 million, an increase of 54% year over year. So what we can see in summary for the loans is that huge growth is happening across all segments, and users are rapidly accelerating the use of all of these. And it's not just volume that they're improving, they're also improving credit performance. Charge-off rates for personal loans fell off to 3.31%, and for student loans down to 47 basis points, which is both improved versus last quarter. They also launched a new home equity product, grew home loan originations by 54%, and announced a new personal loan for credit card holders and a Smart Start student loan refi product. Kind of innovation across the board for the company, and I think they are getting some brand power with that as well. And we can see that expressed in a number with the unaided brand awareness hitting 7%, building visibility through strategic partnerships like Stadium Golf League, TGL presented by SoFi, which hit 20 million viewers, and new sponsorships with CMA Fest. SoFi is quickly becoming a household name in the industry, and I think with that comes increased brand awareness, brand strength, and a stronger case for the company to do well long term. Looking ahead at quarter 2 earnings, which will be reported on July 29th before the market opens, analyst expectations are quite strong. Revenue is projected at roughly $802 million, which would be 34% year over year. Earnings per share is expected to come in at roughly 6 cents, which is a massive improvement from just 1 cent a year ago. If SoFi delivers another beat and raise on the guidance, which I think is likely based on the momentum we just covered, as well as several short-term and long-term bullish growth drivers, we could see a major leg higher, especially given how many institutions are building positions. Institutional ownership is now at record highs, sitting around 40% of the total float. That means the big players like BlackRock, Vanguard, State Street are loading up on SoFi. It's kind of the confidence that you want to see as an investor, as it sends a strong message, and we can see the trend clearly expressed in the graph right here. When institutional ownership rises during a stock's uptrend, it usually signals that smart money sees sustainable growth ahead. Otherwise, they would be cutting the positions, but here they are actually adding on to it. And SoFi is now really firing on all core business cylinders where we see huge growth happening, and also the huge growth that is projected to come in the coming years is very, very high. Let's break down the key divisions. We have lending as the core revenue driver, which is bringing in $7.2 billion in originations last quarter, which is an all-time high. We have financial services bringing in $303 million in revenue, driven by SoFi Money and SoFi Invest. We have the loan platform, which is expanded through third-party originations, now has over $8 billion in institutional backing for loan distribution. They have their tech platform, which is Galileo. It's serving over 158 million accounts globally. This powers many fintechs and neobanks behind the scenes and is a massive B2B revenue stream. Then there is the new private market expansion going on as well. Through SoFi Invest, members can now access funds that hold pre-IPO names like OpenAI, SpaceX, and Stripe. And that could be a real game changer. It opens the door to investing opportunities that used to be reserved for institutions or ultra high net worth investors, where now we see normal investors and usual regular people getting access to those kind of services as well. SoFi is also preparing a comeback in crypto. Later this year, they are rolling out crypto trading to all users. This includes blockchain transfers and stablecoin functionality, all under protection of their banking charter, which is a huge plus for them, which can be a USP moving forward compared to other fintechs. Add to that the return of student loan growth thanks to regulatory changes that are now pushing more borrowers to private lenders like SoFi. Federal student loan caps were lowered, so that's a long-term tailwind. Then there is SoFi Plus, which is SoFi's subscription product. Nearly 90% of new SoFi Plus users were existing members, and the conversion metrics are quite good. 30% adds a second product within 30 days, 75% of new to SoFi users add a second product, and 40% go on to add a third product in their first month. That's really a sticky ecosystem, and I think it's going to become even stronger with every new rollout. I also want to highlight the leadership here, as Anthony Noto, SoFi CEO, is a true beast. He's a former Goldman Sachs partner, Twitter COO, and NFL CFO. Under his leadership, SoFi secured its bank charter, scaled lending, launched private markets, and kept a laser focus on profitability. He's turning SoFi in kind of the Apple of personal finance, in my opinion, where you have everything under one roof.